Liking your on-screen image. Like me, you're probably a person who gets a little uneasy about how you look before a photo shoot or when you're on TV. There's a simple reason for it and has nothing to do with your beautiful looks. Are you aware that there is a scientific reason why you don't like how you look on screen? Today, I will share a simple hack that will help you stop feeling uneasy and learn to actually like looking at yourself on screen. I know, it sounds unrealistic, but seriously, there's a scientific method and it works. Hi, I'm Director CJ Powers. Today I'm going to share a hack that will help you love seeing yourself on screen. Let me take you behind the scenes and explain how this phenomenon boils down to a residual camera effect. Nobody studies faces more than a portrait photographer. Many learned through experimentation that they could actually sell more pictures if they took a simple step before sharing their proofs. This one step revealed the reason why people don't like seeing themselves in pictures. Now, if you thought that people didn't like seeing their pictures because of their weight, or looks, or insecurities, think again. That's right, those weren't the key reasons why people felt uncomfortable. It actually all comes down to the basis for which this hack I'm going to share with you is based. But before I share the hack, I want you to understand it. I want you to see and understand for yourself what the problem actually is and that it's changeable. That's right. You can change it. Now, I know you don't believe me. I know you're sitting there thinking, CJ, you don't know me. I've been doing this for a long time and I'm always feeling uncomfortable. That changes today. Today you're going to learn the answer. In a moment, you'll participate in a simple experiment to see if you can guess why you are uncomfortable seeing yourself on screen. As a director, I'm used to combining the arts and the sciences to be able to tell a story. I understand how the arts and sciences combine to impact the viewer. You can learn the basics by looking at this picture, which is in the public domain, by the way. The Mona Lisa is familiar to you. You've probably seen it several times since grade school art class. You even know how the art makes you feel. But what happens when I flip the image? Whoosh! Now how does it make you feel? Let's try the same effect with Grant Wood's American Gothic. This piece of art was painted to reassure viewers at the beginning of the Great Depression, but many interpret it as satire, perfectly timed with the modernizing world. It became popular because of art classes and televised parodies, like SNL. How does it make you feel, though? That's the key. How does it make you feel? And let's reverse it. Now how does it make you feel? That odd feeling, that sensation you get when seeing something backward has a scientific name. The scientific term for the phenomenon is mirror image equivalence. When we see an image that is backward from what is expected, our bodies have a physiological reaction. Our brains tell us, something's not right. And when we can't put our finger on it, we just feel uneasy. We count on our brain to provide a truthful response that we can process. Those with dyslexia, unfortunately, can't process reversed images with the same confidence. It's all about how we process mirror images. Let me simplify it. You see yourself in the mirror every day. This goes on for decades. As a result, you become very comfortable with how you look in the mirror. Your mind sees your reflection, which is your identical self, but backwards. People aren't perfectly symmetrical. We have a freckle or a mole on one side of our face that, isn't present on the other side. Or maybe we're born with a thinner left eyebrow, or with one eye slightly lower than the other. These are the types of differences that really nobody pays attention to, but our brain sees them, and it does make a difference. When we see our face in the mirror for years, our brain learns how we look. When our brain sees the reverse image, or our on-screen image, an image that is opposite our reflection, it knows something is wrong, and it makes us feel uncomfortable. And it does so as a part of a survival mechanism, so we'll investigate and find out what is wrong. The less symmetrical your face, the more uncomfortable you'll feel. No matter how good you look on screen, your mind will struggle with the difference from your mirror image. So if a photographer flips the proof, you'll be more comfortable with the portrait, and maybe you'll buy a few more pictures. Okay, well, in this day and age, people are too smart for that. But at one time, that was easily done. But this brings us now to the hack. We have the ability to like how we look. We can change how our mind interprets our on-screen image. There is one thing to practice every day, which is opposite the popular selfies. View your asymmetrical face with your camera phone lens flipped to see how others see you. You see, selfies are popular because the person sees themselves the way they look in the mirror. That's plain and simple. That's how it is. But onlookers, they don't like the photos as well as the pictures that they've maybe taken because they're flipped from real life. So you need to flip your selfie camera lens and look at yourself the correct way for a bit of time every day. I'm told that after 26 days of practice, you'll find that you're more comfortable with seeing yourself the right way. That is how you beat mirror image equivalence. Speaking of behind the scenes, when I'm directing a show, some actors want to see their playback of their performance after every take. No! I don't allow it because of mirror image equivalence. I don't want them to feel uncomfortable by the flipped image and misconstrue that the negative feeling to be a bad performance. Even a good performance seems bad when it's flipped. I've seen performances of too many actors get worse and worse as the day goes on because their brain can't comprehend, how do I interpret this uncomfortable feeling? Now, some actors, of course, don't feel weird. Some actors, especially news anchors, are very much used to seeing themselves on screen the right direction. They even use what's called the confidence monitor to make sure that their hair is in place and the audience is seeing exactly what they want them to see. However, some live streaming entrepreneurs, they cheat. They flip their confidence monitor so they see that familiar mirror image. That's right, because they don't know how to get around that feeling. This is done to ensure that when they reach to the right, they see the monitor reach that same direction, even though it's going the opposite direction. Because if you reach this way, your monitor would then go this way. See, because if you turned, did you get it? Did you get it? I hope that's not too complicated. Anyway, the idea is kind of like a director talking to actors on a stage. They point that direction and say, go to stage right. See how that works? You're actually pointing to the left as a director. Okay, but when shooting a narrative or a documentary, I have to say, that it's not good to let actors peek at their images, because you actually don't want all the time eaten up by them looking. You need to stay on budget. You need to stay on pace. You know, shooting a production, whether you're spending $500 an hour or $5,000 or $50,000, it doesn't matter. You have to stay on budget. Don't let the actors take time to look at their playback. Okay, let's summarize all of this. You now know and understand why you don't like seeing yourself on screen. It's different from what you're used to. You're used to looking in the mirror. The great hack, of course, is to look at your screen image with the camera image flipped as often as possible so you can practice and allow yourself to become comfortable and to learn how to see yourself the way others see you. Continue this every day for at least 26 days, or at least until you actually feel comfortable seeing yourself in a different way. This hack is going to make you not only feel comfortable, but it's going to prepare you for society, because society more and more now is demanding we show up on screen during our typical days at work. Whatever it is, for whatever reason, it's best for you to practice. Now, if you've enjoyed today's show and you know a business person who uses a lot of Zoom or team meeting type things online, or if you know a preacher who's got a congregation all over the place and he's got to practice being online, or friends and relatives who struggle with their online image, then please forward this message to them. Help them to learn how to like their on-screen image. I'm Director CJ Powers, and it's a wrap.